Welcome back, everybody, to the KPLS show. As you know, if you've been here for years, this is Kung Fu Panda sitting here with Land Shark. How y'all doing, everybody? How you doing, Land Shark?
Doing great, brother.
It's been a while. I had to basically canoe my way up the hill to get up here, buddy.
Yeah, we're going through a little bit of a flood situation here in southeastern Kentucky. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. Hope everything is good. Hope everybody stays safe. If it's brown, turn around, okay?
Yep.
Do not risk your life. I've seen on the old Facebook here that several folks are trying to cowboy up and go through it. Be smart. Don't be stupid. There's a difference between being tough and just being dumb.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
Don't put your life, your vehicle's life. I can't afford no vehicle.
I can't either.
I ain't trying to do nothing cool. I try to do nothing too much. And we're listening to a little Walking Dead, some of the OG seasons right now on off the screen right here. And we've got a show today that we're going to talk about some horror movies, vampire movies specifically.
Yeah, and I figured it was about time we do that. We had a brand new vampire movie coming out. And like I said, like it's
come out.
Yeah,
so
this
is going to be some spoilers. Even for myself, which I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen it now, it's on your own.
Yeah.
But, I figured, we already, last episode we did werewolves. We got that all going now. And I saw with this new vampire movie coming out, I said, why not?
So, my man's watched Nosferatu.
Yes.
He said a lot of good things about it.
I really enjoyed it.
Well, hold that off. This is going to get a lot of panda talk right here. I know my man don't like to be the leader and do a lot of talking, but this is on him today. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about the video from last week. We have been invited to go to this farm. We are going to do some camping on this farm. And then we're going to pull out a new gear of the week. We're going to go back with that.
Been a while,
and show the new weapon I am going to take camping when we go from now on, especially on this trip. No, it's not the shotgun I said I was going to take, but it's still got some power to it. And we're going to talk about how horror movies, vampire movies specifically, how they've transitioned to what I like to call the golden era of the 80s and early 90s into what I'm calling the copper stellar era of the new millennia, the new 2000, 10s to 25. So got a fun episode. Hey, we're trying to get back doing more material right now, trying to push the issue, trying to really release some footage, and hopefully we can get those likes up, those subscribes up, and come to y'all on a regular basis now.
Yes, sir.
Still working on the camper. That studio is coming. It's looking good, but
it's getting there. It's a process.
It's a process. But
I'm not a mechanic. He's more of a mechanic than I ever will be.
I mean, I'm not a mechanic by no means. I'm not a carpenter. We're doing more of a carpenter work right now than anything. Is kind of getting a few leaks fixed. A few bends and stuff straightened out. But we'll get it. We'll get there. We're not rednecks, but we're hillbillies, and we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out, right?
Yeah, little duct tape fix it.
Duct tape goes a long way. So, like I said, we're going to talk, and we're going to jump kind of straight into it, because the weather's still bad. Ghost and Ghouls, we're going to try to get Panda out of here, get him back to the family, get him back to Stabs and Little Agro. How are they doing, by the way? Family
doing great. Boys growing exponentially. Eating me out of pocket. He's no longer an egg roll.
He's a dumpling now.
He's a full dumpling. I mean, it's but he's doing good. He's great. He's probably one of the best boys, best kids you can ask for.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Little sweetheart. Okay. So we're going to jump right into it. As I said, we're going to jump into the vampire genre.
Yeah.
We've done videos outside where we carry this, we carry that. But we've never specifically just spotlighted and talked about vampire movies. I'm sorry, I keep looking off screen, and I know that's rude, but is that Randy Orton?
I think that might be.
We'll have to Google that.
We'll have to Google that.
Yeah. But anyways, this is good. This is one of the best seasons I think of The Walking Dead. Really enjoyed it. But anyways, we're going to jump into talking about some vampire flicks, and then it's going to lead into him talking about the new Bill Skarsgård Nosferatu flick. He watched it Friday night.
Yes, I did.
On Valentine's Day.
Yes, I did.
Great Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, me and the wife had a great Valentine's Day too. Got to spend some time with each other.
That's great.
We hadn't been alone in a while. It was great, fantastic. Last week we had a little bit of a date night, and our boy that we talked about, Adam, just showed up out of the blue.
Really?
The guy that owns the new, he's going to be starting the training and all that.
Yep.
He's going to stop by. Not a lot of people are allowed to show up at the compound unannounced. He is one of the few. You're one of the few.
Yep.
There's about a list of 5 people that, if they show up unannounced, they won't get a Glock shoved in their grill. So, which now I knew he was coming once he hit the doorbell or hit the bell. I've got a driveway bell and I've got my camera. I knew somebody was out there. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" I thought it was maybe a deer or something, but I looked and there was a big ass truck out in the middle of the driveway. I said, "Who the hell?" And then this little spark plug jumped out, and I said, "Oh shit, that's Adam." Anyways, I had a great night with the wife. We got into some actually horror movies because you said this is what we was going to talk about.
Yeah.
I'll talk about some of the ones I watched. I went a little old school with it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched several that night. I was up all night. I watched John Carpenter's Vampires.
Okay.
Which is
classic.
It's a classic. It's a little cheese. The book is a little different. Jack Crow in the book is a friggin' monster. Mm-hmm. He's not the size of I've got James Woods. Man, dropped his damn spit in here.
I got lids on everything.
He's not the size of James Woods. He's actually, the character is listed as like 6'2" and 2 something of pure muscle. So he's an ex-football player. He's a big boy. He's a little bit bigger than what James Woods is. But the character of Jack Crow is kind of fascinating to me now that I'm listening to the book. So I watched that. I went down the path and I watched, I don't know if y'all have ever watched it, Stakeland.
Stakeland.
It's
I heard of that.
It's a B movie, but it is outstanding vampire flick.
Yep.
So I watched a few, and I mean, of course, there's tiers to this. And I showed you that list, and you got
okay. You sent me a tier list of
and it wasn't mine. It wasn't mine. I just found it online, y'all.
It's your basic D tier to S tier, and it was fine, but it went all over the place in its rankings. Like, how are you rating this? Are you rating this based off just critical reviews like you see on IMDb,
right?
DB, or is it like, have you watched these personally and watched it? I mean.
Right.
There's like one of my points too is you have Nosferatu and the original,
the black and white silent film,
in S tier. In certain categories, yes, you have to put it at the top because it's the catalyst of everything, right? But at the bottom tier now, there's probably going to be some haters for me saying this. If you ever watched Van Helsing or Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, like I don't know.
So Van Helsing gets a lot of hate, but when it come out, every freaking movie that come out was cheesier and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were riding off the popularity of Jackman at the time, who had just become Wolverine and all that. Was doing flicks. I liked it.
I've never met a person that hasn't watched it and said I don't enjoy this film. Like I enjoy watching.
It's corny as shit, but I really enjoyed it.
But why would
I love Van Helsing. So.
And the list that you actually have pulled up right here, put that at the bottom tier. It's like you can't put that up there.
They put that, Blade Trinity, Queen of the Damned, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and D tier, which is disappointing, with the Twilight Saga. Come the hell on.
Exactly.
First of all, Twilight is all the way around sucks. But I want to say this is older because it ain't got the New Salem's Lot on there, which is a very.
But
very
you're missing Near Dark. You're missing a bunch of good.
Good. I mean, Lost Boys.
Why does everybody hate Dracula 3000?
Oh, you mean 2000?
2000. I mean 2000.
So first of all, I love it.
Exactly.
I love the fact that it brought the Van Helsing family back.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Gerard is the bad guy in it.
Yeah.
And you know what I realized the other night watching, and I know it's kind of off key here, but watching the Vampires with James Woods in it.
Yeah.
I forgot that the lead vampire was old buddy from Cobra Kai.
Really?
I forgot it was Stone.
Really?
You didn't know that either? So
I thought we watched that.
It's Slum or whatever his name is. It's not the first bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's the one that he fought in number 3.
Really?
Yeah. I'm rewatching Cobra Kai right now. Me and the wife's going to finish it tonight, actually. But yeah, it's the bad guy from that. Yeah, it's the same dude. So I was watching and I was like, hey, is that what I think it is? And she said, yeah, it is. So, but like, just in good on here, just in good. Now this is really heartbreaking right here. Like, Okay, never mind. We missed that. Just as in good, Nosferatu 2024.
Okay, but it's on there, but you're missing a whole bunch of others.
But why is it not an excellent? Because everybody talks about this damn movie like it's good. And I've not seen Shadow of the Vampire. Now, one of my favorites is on here. I loved the 1996 From Dusk Till Dawn with Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah, hands down.
In it. That movie is freaking excellent, dude. That was a great movie. And that was like I watched Pulp Fiction in that era, but I was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
And I was also going through a lot with the murder of my uncle and everything in '96. I didn't enjoy Pulp Fiction like I should have until a later date, but from the word go, I enjoyed From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
That was the golden age of vampire flicks to me. I love that one.
Exactly.
And then, of course, in the top tier, my man here never watched Interview with a Vampire, the '94 with the stat played as Tom Cruise and Louis played as. Hold on. Let me
hold on.
Let me sell this. So me and Stabs got him to watch it. He didn't realize that the tone was very. We're going to be politically correct and say homosexual.
It was very homosexual.
Very gay. And if you've watched the new Interview with a Vampire, they're actually almost lovers in it, which is still a good flick, man. And we're not knocking it or anything. I just did warn him, like, hey, this is not a heterosexual movie.
I was like, okay, this is kind of gay.
Yeah, but it's still a good flick. Very good.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
So, but there's some movies on here I think I need to watch. I've not watched. And then what really breaks my heart that's not on here is 30 Days of Night.
Yep.
How can you not put 30 Days of Night on here? I have watched that movie so much, my wife can even recite the bitch.
You see, there's a movie on there that I've noticed was on the list that really breaks my heart. You like 30 Days of Night, but you don't have Buffy the Vampire Slayer anywhere on the list. And listen, talking about 90s cheese and all growing up, I watched a lot of this, right? And for the longest time.
What's your name? Christy Swanson? Yeah. Swanson, whatever, running around. And I'm an 80s baby, so chicks in leather jackets is a turn on to me. Yeah. I know it's TMI, but I can't help it. But her running around killing people, killing vampires in a leather jacket and a tutu. Yeah. Come the hell on.
But you don't have that. That's like almost peak of just that vampire genre. But
this has to be a little. I said it has to be a little older, but still, it's got the 24 on there. Why is the movie from Netflix is slept on?
Yep.
Day Shift.
Day Shift. Yep.
It is so slept on. It is a very good vampire flick.
Yep.
And then Abigail's not on here. But Abigail is awesome.
That was a good one.
If y'all have not seen Abigail, it is a very, very good vampire movie.
Yeah.
So, but. Going back to Interview with a Vampire, we didn't sell it like we should have sold it. He watched it.
I didn't expect it to be as much of an Anne Rice movie than I was watching. Does it make sense? Yeah. Because I didn't expect it to be as...
she even at her time, she was very...
It was...
Let's say open-minded with everything. Even at the time that she come out. or the time that movie was released. Yeah. In, the mid-90s, so it was a different flick. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think because I've seen parts of the new one, and I know it, to me, and this is going to be a weird statement, and it might make a weird statement on me. The two main actors of the vampires in there, they're not like the stat and all them. I don't see it as I guess they weren't like two pretty boys like how you got Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and to me, like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise got really gay really quick. And I was like, okay, something's going on here.
The character of Louis is more gritty in the newer movies played by a black man. I don't really know the actor. He plays the role really, really well. Yeah. And then the guy that plays the stats fucking stacked. Sorry about that. But that was our one F-bomb.
Yeah, one F-bomb.
That was our one F-bomb. He's stacked. He's a big dude. Not big dude, but he's shredded. Yeah. He's shredded up. So it's a little bit more than the twigs that Pitt and Lestat or Cruise played, and everybody knows it. Tom Cruise is a lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him. Yeah. For whatever it's worth, he goes all in his movies.
He does a good job.
Yeah, and
can't say he doesn't.
But as far as stature goes, as a human being, he's a smaller man. Yeah. My favorite Tom Cruise movie is always going to be All the Right Moves. A 80s football movie out of Pittsburgh. I loved it. I always loved that. That's my favorite And I mean, right behind the video, here's my football wall. Y'all will never see that because that's a life that I don't live no more. But I used to be somebody on a football field, so did my man here.
Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite football flicks of all time. And Tom Cruise played a cornerback in that, and I love that. But as a statured person, he's not a big guy.
Yeah.
These two guys in the new Interview with Vampire bigger guys. I mean, they're slender, but they got some muscle to them and all that. So it did turn very feminine very fast in that one. So what's a vampire movie that you would watch that people are not a big fan of? Like that, I don't know who out there is a big fan of it. Me. If I just can't find nothing to watch, obviously and it was on here. I think it was in the top tier. Was right there, Lost Boys top tier.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Near Dark, man. It come out at the same time as Lost Boys did, and Lost Boys took a lot of its thunder, but it is a great movie with some great actors in it, especially 80s actors in it.
I'm a Bill Paxton fan.
And Bill Paxton.
So watching Near Dark, it was like, okay, this is kind of my movie here.
And then the guy that played in Pumpkinhead and all that, played in Aliens. And played Mr. Whalen and
Eric Leaf. I know his name. I'm going to forget his name.
Yeah, but he played in a lot of good movies either way.
Played Bishop in Alien. Yes.
Yeah. And then played Mr. Whalen in the Alien vs. Predator.
Yes.
So he's like the lead vampire in it, and that's a good one. And then I try to watch Vampires Part 2 with John Bon Jovi. Yeah. I love me some Bon Jovi, but like I said, I'm an 80s baby, man. I can't help it. But that movie I couldn't get into it. And the wife found me in here asleep last night like this in the rolly chair over there. So, I mean, there's a lot of vampire flicks out there. Like, check out Abigail. It's one of the newest ones. It's got the older dark-skinned brunette from Scream in it. She's played in a few movies right now. She's excellent in it. I love her in this movie more than I do in Scream. I love her as an actress. She's done really, really well. And I'm not talking about the chick that plays Wednesday Addams, but the other one, the older one, the older sister. She really does well in this movie. I liked it. Have you watched Abigail yet?
Yes, I have.
So did you dig it? Was it?
I digged it. It was different. It was different.
Yeah. And I know what we're going to end up missing a few as we sit here and talk about it. We'll probably message each other later. Oh hell, man, we missed this or we missed that. But they're out there. And then there's a series on Netflix that's this Dracula. It's 6 episodes. It starts with kind of the Bram Stoker's thing. Mm-hmm. Now, another thing about Dracula is like, he didn't care to rape whoever to become who he become.
Yeah, exactly.
And in this, it talks about how it's the Harker guy, the dad.
Jonathan Harker,
Yeah, Jonathan Harker, the dad of Quincy Harker, who became the demon hunter and the demon killer. Those are great books. Get into those books by John G. Harkness. Great books. I love them. Shout out, I got him on Facebook. If you ever see this, sir. Big fan of Bubba the Monster Hunter and your Quincy Harker book.
I just realized something else in there thinking about it. That list did not even have any Underworld in there.
Did have Underworld in there.
Did have Underworld.
And then it had Blade Trinity. What's your favorite Blade?
Okay. Nothing beats the classical one. The first one. Number one, it was good. The very first Marvel movie, in my opinion, like the first mainstream Marvel.
Was rated R.
But brung Marvel to the top.
Was rated
yes.
R. And God bless, it was a black man. Wesley Snipes. Love me some Wesley Snipes.
Now,
Passenger 57.
Which one is
always
it? Is it 2 or Trinity with
the guys with the open mouth?
Yes.
2.
Okay. I really did enjoy that one.
That was my favorite of the
because you got a whole cast of like. Okay, do you consider Ron Perlman an A-list actor?
I don't, because Hollywood does it, but to me, he is great. But I'm a Ron Perlman fan. Like,
yes,
they screwed up when they pulled him out of Hellboy.
Yes,
the only time I've never liked him and he done so good, it caused me to hate him is when he played Clay.
I agree with that.
But he's such a good actor, you hated the dude. But he's great. He's a great actor. And from what I know, he's a great human being.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, brother, but like, I love Ron Perlman. I really do. Like, I love him as Hellboy. I love that he's done some voiceover work that I really enjoyed. Perlman's that guy.
Yeah. But I've always liked how part 2 brung in this. I don't call them A-class because there's actors that you know their face and they're all in your favorite movies.
Daryl.
Exactly.
Daryl was on there.
But you bring them all in together into a film, right?
And then you brought back Mr. Christopherson.
Exactly. And then you bring up into a new storyline that there's something other, like there's a next evolution to the vampire that's destroying the whole society the vampires have.
Right.
So that was something. It was a new concept that came up. Like there's why everybody considered that the vampire is the top breed hunter, the apex predator. Now it is no longer. Now it's a human. Now it's basically on the same level as us.
Right.
So that's what I really enjoyed about it. That's my favorite one.
Okay. So we get the Hold up.
That's my favorite one.
Hold up. We just agreed on a movie.
Yep.
We just agreed on a movie. All right. I like it too. It's really good. I didn't hate 3. I thought that.
But you could tell where Wesley Snipes was not happy with how he was going. He didn't want to do it.
And then there was the whole hard-on scene. I don't know if anybody remembers that when they put the blood in him, or he bit into the thing and he rose up and he had the hard-on before he started killing everybody. I didn't need to see all that.
Exactly.
I didn't see
CGI and eyes on top of his eyes. He wouldn't open his eyes in that one scene.
Yeah, because he was just pissed. And I didn't need to see Wesley Snipes.
Exactly.
His Snipes.
Exactly.
And then you had Deadpool trying too hard, and then also in that same breath, she's an absolutely beautiful queen, but you had Jessica Alba trying way too hard to be a hard ass.
Yeah.
Then you had the corny ass soundtrack. There was just too much going on in that movie. Part 1 will always forever be the OG.
Yep.
It's that good flick, and then part 2 is my favorite. It's the best.
All hands down.
Yeah. So, and then so. Before we get into you talking about Nosferatu and Bill Skarsgård's portrayal as the Count, and before y'all start, I'm not a Skarsgård hater. I know I've heard people, and I've had like friends at work that have looked at the Crow review.
Yeah,
it didn't have nothing to do with Skarsgård. Skarsgård, anybody in that family can act their asses off. They're unreal.
Exactly.
It was the story that he was given that I did not like. And then he could have the dude was shredded.
Yep.
The dude he looked badass. And then I get the long hair ain't a thing no more really. Like we've rocked it, off and on. A lot of people don't rock it. It wasn't the earring. The face paint was a little off for me. I didn't like that. But it was the story that he was given. I think if he was given a better story, the man would have went with it and crushed it. Even now, I think I read that the writer director, the main guy, come out. And he's like, "Yeah, I went the wrong way with it." Mm-hmm. There's like 35 different Crow characters that they could have chosen from that didn't have to be.
Yeah, he technically didn't. Now I haven't seen it yet, but if I'm not mistaken, they would have decided instead of going from the Eric Draven story to that other story from the TV series.
No, they still. I mean, it was Eric and Shelley.
Okay.
So. But you never heard her called Shelley Webster that I can remember, and he was never called Eric Draven. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm not a Skarsgård hater, and I love kind of a different type of movie. Yeah. And they said, and correct me if I'm wrong, the way that he interacts with the shadows and the way the producer uses the shadows in this is unreal.
It's very good, and I'll talk about it when we get ready.
So we're getting ready to go down that road. Yeah. I'm excited to hear what you got to say because I want to watch it. I'm glad we're talking about creature features because this is right my alley. Got zombies right now going on. I love werewolf flicks. Yep. I love a good vampire movie. You talk about Underworld Celine and that outfit. Oh, that's magnifique. So I love that. Once again, I'm an 80s baby and leather boy. Go on with it. But so before we get too far and we get in there, let me get the Kung Fu Panda vampire top 5 movies.
Oh, okay. Top 5 movies.
And I know they fall under I know Blade is more of like an action.
Yes, okay. My top 5. Okay.
Let me get the Kung Fu Panda top 5.
Okay. My number 1, and there's a story that goes behind this because I watched this a lot when I was little, and I forgot what the movie was for the longest time, and it took years and years until I finally met Stabs, where I described just the scene of this leather-clad vampire floating in the window going, "Come on, Johnny, let me in." And I was, for the longest time, I couldn't remember the damn movie. And it turns out it was a movie that I probably should have known for a long time. But it's just a classic to me that I've watched and I always enjoyed watching. And that's the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. I've always been a big fan of it and I always constantly watch that.
So that's number one.
Yeah, that's number one. Okay. All right, my number two, because I'm a frog boy for life, baby. Gotta put the Lost Boys up there, okay? Number three, I'm also a Quentin Tarantino fan. I'm a big time fan. Any movie that he's in, directs, writes, produces, or has his hand or foot in, I will always support and I always think it's going to be a great film and a good ride. From Dusk Till Dawn will be on there, okay? Got to add 30 Days a Night, because I remember watching that first thing when it came out in theaters, and I was like,
I like that. To me, took vampires to the
top
apex predator.
Exactly.
That's your apex type, and it wasn't that pretty, sumptuous, like, I'm a hillbilly. I mispronounced that, but it wasn't that pretty type of vampire. It was a different type of vampire. So
yeah, exactly. And then I've always been a big fan of Salem's Lots. That's my number five. Okay. Salem's Lot, and I'm going to combine both the 1979 version, if I'm not mistaken. Jamie, check me on Joe Rogan reference right there if you don't know. I've always liked that, and I also like the remake they did in 2004. And I always thought
that 2004 remake was great.
Oh yeah, that's.
So 79. You're
79. Right. I was right. Okay.
Hey, young Jamie, check me out there.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate
Mr. Rogan, please send us some money. Don't sue us. We love you.
He'd probably be like, "These guys are funny."
Yeah,
but I've always liked the fact that instead of we got that more traditional movie vampire, right?
Okay.
I cannot enter without doing stuff. I'm going to try to enthrall you, put my spell on you to get you out of your house.
Okay, so that's your five.
Yeah.
And before I ask your five, or before the Land Shark puts his five out there, what did you think about True Blood? Did you watch the series?
Yes, I have. I'm actually still watching it, and number one, how come none of y'all ever prepare me for how much sex I'm going to watch in this? Okay?
This definitely shouldn't have been rated R. It should have been rated X. But the wife brought me to it, and I was like, what the hell? But at least they didn't sparkle in the dark. They didn't sparkle. They didn't sparkle.
We got real vampires. Yeah, we got real vampires.
Lost me like a lot of things lose me.
One thing. Why the hell are they two buck teeth? Is their teeth?
Right.
That's why I can't stand that.
So yeah, everything's gonna have its knocks. Like the teeth wasn't as big of a knock to me. Yeah. The teeth wasn't as lost me when the whole fairy thing come at the end.
Yeah.
Just like I was talking about John G. Hartness's books.
Yeah.
I love Bubba the Vampire Slayer, but to find out he's half vampire or half a fairy in the end and all that, and like he's got fairy blood in him, like they could have won it. They could have been a lycanthrope for all the hell I care, but it just didn't match up to me. But so
it's just like there's things about it I like. I just felt like I was more keen on
once again Skarsgård.
Yep.
He was Shrek. He was a monster in that movie.
I just was more keen on more of like the humans, the people who had the supernatural, like the shamans, or even like their own shapeshifters and stuff like that. I was more keen on. I wanted to root for them more than I did for the vampires. Especially when I was like, okay, so Bill is a Confederate vampire, and he brings that up to his Confederate meetings and says, "Oh, I personally did not own slaves. My family has for generations." I can't stand that. And for a fact, Suki. I can't. Okay.
Okay. So to me, Suki was overused as in Carl was overused, like these guys just overdoing their accent, like. Me and fucked up right there. There's two. We're getting ready to get fined, buddy.
We're gonna get fined.
But I messed up right there. Me and the wife was watching this the other night, and we went around. And by this, I mean we're listening. And kind of got The Walking Dead playing off screen here. Went around hollering, "Carl!"
Yeah.
"Carl!" for hours on hours, and then like sucker. Cool.
Exactly. Exactly.
The accent was on.
But I think where it really turned off, because I thought I guess for me, it's just if I would have went to a different direction to more of the horror aspect of it. Yeah. Well, the one point that threw me off
are really.
I bought that for $10, but it's smut. She says it's her smut she reads all the time, right? And I guess what the point that really kind of threw me off, where I was like, I'm probably not going to enjoy this series as much, was a scene where Bill disappeared and had to hide in the dirt for a long time to save Sookie. Sookie goes, finds her. He crawls out of the dirt and has sex with his graveyard penis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Ro, what are you doing? She plays Ro.
Like, she's about to get one hell of a yeast infection, buddy.
Oh! Good night, Irene. Woo! All right, well, the KPLS boys just took a damn left.
Yeah, that's a...
So, let the land shark land his 5 on you. And they're going to be very much different. I'm going to move a few around if you don't care.
Okay.
So, for one, to me, it's going to be the Jaws of the vampire world. The great white, the apex predator. It is going to be 30 Days of Night.
Yes.
Then once again, as you said, for All Brothers for Life, I'm going to put The Lost Boys at number 2. Number 3, and it's almost 2B to me. Very, very, very close is also going to be from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I'll always love that movie. Anytime I get a chance to watch it, I'm going to put it on. Now, when we get to 4, I am going to put the original OG in there, and I absolutely love Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
I love that movie. It's a great movie. And then 5's kind of a toss-up because, I mean, we've talked about this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I am a vampire flick guy.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to put in there right now, and I've talked about it, I probably get some hate, and I really don't give a shit about the hate that we get. This is a positive channel, so we just write your comments.
Yeah.
If it's too bad. Now, if you want to debate us, there was a gentleman that wanted to debate The Crow with us and really got into that. That was awesome. I appreciate that. But I'm going to put in there at number 5, because I really enjoyed the flick, was the new one, Day Shift.
Yep. Okay.
So I'll put that in there at number 5. Now, there's a lot of I'm probably missing that I love, but that's just the 5 right off top of the head.
Okay.
Having a few adult beverages.
Yep.
Us BSing.
Yep.
That I can think of. That I know that if you put them on, I'm going to watch.
Exactly.
And truthfully, to me, I'll watch. I love Bram Stoker's, man.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. The only problem is that you got to have time to spend because it's over a 2-hour flick.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie. It's a great representation of the book.
Yeah.
So it's outstanding.
Yeah.
So that's my 5. Is we got a lot the same.
Yeah.
Change 2, I believe.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I said it, wifey. We ain't done it in a while. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over.
Okay.
And I want you to break down the new 2024 Bill Skarsgård Nosferatu.
Personally, for me, I thought it was an amazing film, artistically. And me and Tam sat there and we after we watched the movie, we like to debrief ourselves and watch what we watched.
Yeah.
It was a very artistic film. A lot of the scenes and cinematic scenes were very well done, very artsy, very, very just amazing.
Right,
just amazing. Right. Lighting was great, shadows and stuff like that. You said.
I heard the shadow work was.
It was. I'm gonna. As a remake of an original film, and it's fairly accurate to what the storyline of the silent film was. It is going to be a little bit of a slow burn, but I see it more as we're watching an older film. There's a difference from a slow burn from watching something newer today, where you're like, okay, what's going on? Nothing's happened. You have to pay attention, listen to the dialogue. You're learning the story. You're learning story.
Right.
So you're listening to a story. Number one, honestly, this goes back to like real vampire lore, not what Hollywood does to change some stuff. We got some real vampire lore, dealing with Romanian lore
right,
and
okay,
gypsies.
cool.
So we got to deal with a lot of that. Count Orlok was not a normal looking guy.
No,
he was this grotesque dead corpse that moved around, and it's there's something creepy about it. You see his hands, how his hands work. His hands were like 3 times, like his fingers are 3 times the length. Just bony, skinny. His fingernails are so, instead of like perfectly sharp, they're all like jagged and destroyed. And of course, as a fan of Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you read the book, he had a nasty mustache in this film. So it's because I learned this from Stabs. His Nosferatu is just a cheap knockoff of the book Dracula that they didn't have rights to do for. So that's why it's basically the original book.
Right.
But
sorry, I'm checking my cams, y'all.
Yeah, it was great. It does a really good. What we got?
Oh, my son's going to be pumped.
That's awesome.
Sorry, we got an Amazon delivery on a Sunday. That's great.
That's great. But the vampire was you see like the undead ghoul creature, and you see the power of him, but you don't get it the whole film. That it's like an anticipation that this guy's going to do his stuff. You see what I'm getting at?
Right.
It's a suspense on it, and a good aspect on. I think a vampire lore that a lot of these films don't show up is how much of they get into your mind and they just try to make you a slave.
Right.
So there's parts of the film, which I'm not going to ruin too much, where this guy it looks like it's skipping back and forth, but he's being manipulated and doing all these kinds of things. The main guy, Thomas Hutter.
Right.
Who's the main character? Who's the main guy?
Yeah, it wasn't the Harker family.
No, it was the Hutter family.
Right. And before anybody asked, no, I didn't shoot through my thing.
Yeah. And he had a big A-list actor have an appearance in the film that I didn't even expect to happen. I didn't expect to see Willem Dafoe show up in here as an occultist professor that knows everything on it.
He's playing like the Van Helsing type.
Yeah, he was basically the Van Helsing.
Yeah.
And he's crazy and he does all kinds of stuff, and I'll go into that a little bit. But it goes on. The original story is Hunter's wife, right? Is this psychic medium kind of person. She has all that powers to be able to trance herself and leave her body and be able to communicate with stuff, right? You really don't see it, but she does. Like they think it's Victorian era England.
Tell the story. I have to step off camera for a second.
Okay, you go ahead. And we're back after a little bit of a cut because Kung Fu Panda, while trying to continue the story on into the camera, felt really stupid.
Sorry, I had to step off.
Gotta have a blooper reel, but
yeah, one day we'll release that. Y'all are going to love us.
But as I was going back, it's so as I was talking about with the woman in there,
the Victorian era.
Victorian,
you said that 12 times.
Exactly, but it's just back in that time period. When a woman's doing her fits of mania and seizures and epilepsy, that's what they consider. They get their doctors in, and it's like, oh, that's how she is. Ether her and all that stuff. Then you get one of the foes, professor. She's in a trance, and he sits there and does his stuff and makes his prayer to God and these other different gods because he knows he's so big in the occult, which is the reason why he got kicked out of being a professor.
Right.
So, and then she's talking about it.
Kind of lost him to phone.
Exactly, and then the woman just starts breaking up, starts speaking in tongues, talking about how this great darkness is coming back. And really, what surprised me was this is just a love story. Count Orlok film. It wasn't love, or was it just such a lust for her flesh that he did all this stuff just to go back to England to kind of be with her.
Right.
Well, to make a long story short, it's about a 2-hour movie. Make it a little bit short. The way to kill, the guy, William Dafoe does his research, looks at every old occult book he has. How is he going to do this? Because every culture, every region, every story has the similarities of what the creature is, but not how it kills him. He reads one section and he ties two together when he meets Thomas Hunter's wife. And he goes, to kill the beast.
Which is essentially in the Stoker's version, the Harkers, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. To kill the beast is to let the beast lay with the woman, bed with the woman he wants until the time the first rooster crows.
Cool.
So the woman's
give him some until daylight.
That's exactly what happened. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. They did the woman.
Talk about a yeast infection.
Jesus, when the woman does that, sleeps with him, lets him feast upon her all night. Where he would just insatiably would not leave her because the vampire in this one has to go back to the place they were buried.
Right.
So they're dirt, they're coffin. Well,
we're in the Stoker's universe, and we're in the. I don't know if y'all watch it. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the last voyage of the Detmer or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
The Cater.
Yeah.
That story goes into hell, and Stoker's does too, about how he has to have Transylvania dirt.
Yeah.
To stay alive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they do that. So they get him having sex with that woman all night while they go and they go to his coffin and burn his coffin in his dirt. And then, which is one thing that was cool. When he dies, when Count Orlok dies, and he bleeds, like it almost like he vomits every blood, all the blood he's ever consumed, right? Because he's just vomiting blood, and then he just dies. Okay, so they walk back in the room because the guy's husband, the girl's husband, Thomas, who didn't know that was the plan all along, was to let her sacrifice herself so they kill him. So he runs back to try to save her, and the last scene is she's laying naked, dead in the bed, blood all over her, and it's not Count Orlok's almost ghoul-like swole, because he's like a little bit muscular.
Listen, body. The Skarsgård can't help but to be muscular.
It was just this DNA. Degraded body just on him, instead of like, you know how every modern vampire trope, they burn the ash and stuff. It just turns back to the corpse it was.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it was neat.
That's a different view of it. And so, do you get to witness him feed? Does he feed in this movie?
Yes.
God. So there are kills in this movie.
Okay, so the kills you see with him. Okay, you can count the kills on your hand. Okay.
And you don't have to be overly done.
And it's the first time I've ever seen him and Stabs got really upset and wanted to stop because, you know, we have our son, we went our process of our son, so like a lot of stuff seen involving children is kind of sensitive to her.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah, me too.
They're messing, like, he promises this woman.
I can't watch Wes Craven's New Nightmare because it's about the...
Yeah, exactly. So he says in you got 3 nights, tonight included, that unless you come back to me, I'm going to kill everything you love. And this family that took her in and was taking care of her has 2 daughters and a pregnant wife.
Oh.
And the scene is epic. They hear this banging, this kid screaming. The father's just passed out drunk with this pistol laying because he's passed out drunk because he's trying to be reasonable and he's drinking, right? So his pregnant wife goes up there and try to go see what's going on with her kids. And you see a scene of just a dark silhouette with glowing eyes and this kid's body, and then kind of Orlok's just demolishing her neck.
Oh wow!
And then
like an apple.
Yeah, and it was just, I was like, oh. It's like, you don't see this.
Right. Okay. So cool. So is it would you consider that an off-screen kill, kind of like some of the Jaws movies, or you witness some of it, but it's shadow use once again?
Yes, like it's. I
heard the videography is.
You didn't see her die, but you just see the corpse.
That's awesome.
Of it getting just hit by his neck, pull it up, and throwing the body down.
Wow, that's clever.
And I was like,
clever.
Oh, that's pretty neat. And then of course you get the classic scenes from the movie where you just see like the shadow hand walking through the hall, and he does that perfectly. And it was great. It was great. It's artistic.
Skarsgård family, man, they're special.
There wasn't like a whole lot of there was the action intensity, the suspense that you needed was there when you needed it. It was an artistic film. And it's a little bit longer film. I wouldn't recommend watching it at 10 o'clock and expecting to go to bed by 12. I didn't go to bed until about 1:30. Right? But it was just, you had to watch it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, what's going on? What's happening? And I'm like, oh, I gotta catch this, you know. And
right.
I was like, when was the last time did you see the gypsies be involved with all this kind of stuff?
2010 Wolfman with Benicio del Toro. There was gypsies in that. And
I was like,
that's 14 years.
Because it's like, you know, I haven't watched Nosferatu or the 70s remake in a long time. I was like, so what kind of vampire flick are we doing here? And I was like, we're going more real lore. Like what cultures are actually kind of teaching? I was like, this is okay.
That's awesome.
We're doing some cool stuff here. Artistically great. Skarsgård does a good role. Don't expect to see vampires all down. It's
right, and you shouldn't. Like even in Dracula, you don't see them. Like you get to see a werewolf because of the sex scene in the Bram Stoker's book. She was made love to by a beast. Yeah. And that's not the wording, but you know, we've already used 2 F-bombs this episode.
Yeah.
So. And you shouldn't see them the whole time. It's a build-up. It's a slow burn, but a good, like you said, turn your brain on. Think for a second. Don't be a meathead like old Landshark here. It's an artsy film.
It is. It's amazing. There's just scenes of it. It's like, okay, this is really neat for a horror film. This is it almost goes back to that classic. It's like the classical feels. You remember Bram Stoker's Dracula? Its scenes in there were artistic, and there was like, okay, that's really cool. We got back to that. So we don't. You don't always need to have it just flat out in your face.
Right.
Sometimes you need a build up.
Right.
You know?
So
a little foreplay doesn't hurt every now and then.
Every now and then you gotta kiss the neck, ladies and gentlemen, and not bite it. And that's awesome. So. I don't know if you can see it off. We got the vampire killing kid over here with the hand axe and the stake. So step back, think about it. How many stakes out of 5 does the 2024 Nosferatu get from Coffee Pan?
Oh, that's a 4. That's a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
You know what? Let me rephrase that. That's a 4 out of 5 iron spikes out of 5 because it takes wrought iron to kill this man.
Or actually, it's on streaming now.
Yeah.
Stream this movie. Watch this movie.
I will say this.
I'm going to. I just ain't had the time to sit back.
We rented it for about $20, and it was worth the money. It was. It wasn't.
Lance Shark used to be that guy that said, "Hey, go out, watch the movie, go to the theaters." And anymore, to me, I'm older now. I would rather stay. I am the old man of the group. We were talking about health last week, and it wasn't we didn't do a video last week, but we just kind of met up, had a few drinks, just kind of had some guys' time, watched some Critters, a great '80s cheese horror sci-fi comedy flick, and when you was talking about your age, I was talking about mine. I was like, I'm an old man, but I'm trying to take care of myself. So we get a 4 out of 5 out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I mean, and that's stream this movie. I'm not telling you now to go out because it's just too damn expensive. Like me and the wife was talking about when we done the same thing with the Frank Grillo Werewolves movie, right? Like $20 at home. Or versus going out to eat because we're going. I mean, we just can't go to the movies, and the movies that we go to is located near a restaurant that we both kind of. I call it the redneck, feng shui type. It's Applebee's. Yeah, it's got that redneck feng shui that I'm so fond of. But I love their wonton tacos. Yeah, and you all made some for me a couple years ago. That was unreal. But anyway, you go there, you have a few drinks there, you go over, you buy your candies, your whatevers, and then you sit down, you're $45, $50 deep.
Exactly. A hell of a bucket of popcorn's $20.
And then the gas, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that the Land Shark's done with movies going out, but I'm saying that if I can save some dollars, I'm going to.
Yeah, I agree.
So stream this movie, watch this movie.
Do it.
I've heard nothing but good things, and then that my man right here, my brother, is saying the same thing, and this is my brother. He's saying, "Hey, this movie is a 4 out of 5." I'm going to watch it. It won't be this week. I got a lot going on, but I'm definitely going to watch it in the next couple of weeks. As soon as I get a couple hours to spend, even if it's just me, I'm going to break out and watch this movie. Yeah. So, thanks. Good review, brother. Sorry that we had the technical difficulties. We had a problem with the Amazon guy. I had to go figure out what was going on there. But we're good now. We're good. As a matter of fact, whoever you are, I don't know who you was.
That man did a hike.
He actually hiked up our mountain to deliver our... I was wondering why the actual alarm didn't go off until he got close to the cameras, which it's still close enough for me to get your ass. Yeah. We seen him coming. I was just wondering where his vehicle was and what happened. And if the guy was stuck, we was going to go help. Yeah. Either way, we're back. So let's rewind a little bit and let's tell everybody what has happened and where we are invited, and we have open range to the property now.
Yep.
So we done a video a couple weeks ago.
Yes, we did.
On a first-hand encounter.
Yes. Of a dog man.
Possible skinwalker, dog man, canid type creature. Okay. We're not sure when. We're hoping ASAP. We got to get the schedules right. Yep. The weather's got to be right. Because, you could do what you want to do, but if you're in the middle of a monsoon, we're not the richest guys. No. We go with what we got. And
frankly, I don't think if we have to paddle up to a location, we ain't going to find nothing.
We ain't going to find nothing anyway. So we're going to wait on a good night. and we are going to go.
And we're going to look for one
to this farm. That if you watch, go back to our firsthand encounter of Dogman.
Yep.
She was telling about a gentleman that used to be in the military. Was a Vietnam vet, correct? Am I right?
He's 20-year vet.
20-year vet.
I don't know if he was a Vietnam.
So 20-year vet of the military, and was still worried. Has asked us to come out and check because we do have. We've got some night vision now.
Yep.
So this will be the first time we get to use it. We've got some other things now that kind of help us. We've got a hold of an actual Catholic priest. He's going to be a priest. He works at my spot, who is going to help bless some things for us.
Okay.
Help do some other stuff, get some waters right and all that. Okay. So we got the Lord on our side when we go. And not only that, we got superior firepower that we're going to be taking, and that leads us into equipment of the week.
Been a long time.
Been a long time. Now, I showed this picture. Now, I've got about 3 to 4 new toys I need to show. So I asked Panda the other night, I said, hey, this is what I'm going to take on the camp, just in case it is nasty. I really don't care to get this gun beat up and all that. It is new to me. I bought it. I don't care if it gets tore up. It's one of those guns, if something happens, it don't break my heart. And then we can always repair it.
Yeah.
So I said, what should we talk about on equipment of the week? You accidentally run off and forgot something that you just got.
I did.
From a old school hunter.
Yes, I did.
That has handed it down and sold it to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the gun that won the West. We'll talk about that.
You know, I will send a picture up, or I'll put a picture of me holding it up here, here, so you can see it. What I got is a 1972 Winchester 30-30. Killed 30-30s, killed more deer.
Yeah.
It's
a Kentucky gun.
It's a Kentucky gun.
And then
it's a beautiful firearm. Man.
Yeah, it is. It is. That guy was a great guy to be able to let it go. But here's what we got. I've got about 4 new guns that we're going to do. And then I sent a picture. I was messing around the other night when me and the wife got back from out eating and all that. During Valentine's Day, we got done with everything with our personal time. And I was playing around, and I put a gun together for the camp.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him, and he said, hold up. Calm down there, Somalia. Or calm down there, Black Hawk Down. This ain't Somalia. What are you taking with you? And with the new Netflix series, Surviving Black Hawk Down, this is a great time to pull this. Now, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to allow my man to open it. You don't get to see everything just yet.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't that close. Like and subscribe, and then you can get closer, right? But as I stand up, my man's going to open this up, and I'm going to pull out. Go ahead and shut that back, Mr. Panda. They don't get to see everything as we said, but this is my new camping AR-15.
Let's hold that up a little bit so the camera can see.
All right, my new camping AR-15. Yeah, it's got the foregrip on it, but I'm going to move back. It's still got the Picatinny rails right here that I can do a little bit of light with. I will have the green light with us, considering we are going cryptid hunting.
Yeah.
Just a simple red dot I put on top of it. This is a Bushnell. A lot of people don't like them. They are what they are, but it's just a Bushnell red dot on top of a riser. I like the style of it. You did too. If you want to hold it up right there. I got a couple metal mags that's going to look real well in it. And that's going to be the new camping.
And when you said it to me, you had this big old flashlight, old school flashlight on there.
I had the green light on it.
If you just had a carry handle, you had a big old carry handle scope on there. I was like,
it really,
easy there, Delta Force.
Yeah, it's got the old school look to it. But for what it is, it shoots straight. I've shot it a couple of times since I've got it.
I'm making a statement because I delved into this realm of brands of firearms. You put enough rounds through it, you get the way it's working, you get it lubed up and good, it's going to do your job. Yeah. It doesn't matter really what it is.
Yeah. And
people are going to say it's bad, whatever.
And then, it's easy to maneuver. I'm right there right on spot where I need to be right there. I don't care to go hiking, go camping with this gun and, something happened. I'm going to carry about 100 rounds with it.
Yeah.
Even with that. And then also on my hip, I'm going to have the Glock 20 10 millimeter bear killer. So if they'll carry that in Alaska and they feel comfortable with carrying that in Alaska, I feel comfortable with carrying it in places in the state of Kentucky. Although we I don't know what we're going to see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we're going against just yet, but we will. We'll find out. But this is going to be the gun that I take with me on that camp.
And it's a beautiful firearm. It's clean. It's nice. And
you know me. I keep my weapons.
There ain't nothing wrong with getting something that looks a little old school now.
And you know, I am old, although I do like new types of gear. But as far as nostalgia goes, it's a nostalgic looking weapon. You got the old A2 front. I like it. So
I think it's a beautiful firearm.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the equipment of the week, and this is going to be on the camp/cryptid hunt that we go on next. You said you're going to take the AK. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring out the AK.
So we're going to have 2 different types of firepower. Definitely going to bring the rounds.
Yep.
And then there's a rumor that we're going to have a special guest.
Yep.
He's got to get his schedule right. He will be packing a bullpup style 12 gauge.
Okay.
And it's a semi-automatic, so he's got some buckshot I know for that. And then I'm going to give him some special slug.
Yep.
To take with him. And whether you're hunting a vampire, whether you're hunting a zombie, whether you're hunting a werewolf, whether you're hunting Frankenstein himself,
yep.
Frankenstein's monster himself, or a human being, the one thing that matters in all of this is if they don't have a head, they're usually dead.
Yep.
In a lot of lore, if you take the head from them and then burn them directly after, you're in pretty good shape.
Can't come back if there ain't nothing left of it.
Right, absolutely. So this is what I'm going to take, and this is the first 2025 KPLS equipment of the week. Got the vertical grill. I wanted it a little bit longer because I do have a bulky ass flashlight that goes on this. That way I can still maneuver it and do the things I need to do to put in some work. So that is the equipment of the week for this week. That is the first equipment of the week or the equipment of whatever for 2025. And this hopefully will go, or this will for sure go on the camp/hunt with us. And that is bringing us to the end of this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked vampires, we talked about our hunt, and we've just had a basically good time with a little bit of a blooper having to get off there.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about, man. We're never going to be mainstream. We're never going to be A+, but we are always going to be fun. And
exactly.
We're always going to bring that spooky to you. And we're always going to try to talk survival with you. Correct, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Or I'm sorry, correct, my brother?
Yes, sir.
KPLS for life. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Go out there, like, subscribe this. Let's get this up. We're going to try to get on some momentum. We're coming back. We've slacked off. Work, life, all that happens. But we ain't going nowhere. No matter what people think. This ain't a fluke. This ain't a joke. We're not just doing this to do it. We have fun doing this, and we love doing it. It's a chance for us to be us. It's a chance for us to go back and be kind of young.
Yeah.
So you can make fun of us if you want. We don't care. Right there for you, big Stone Cold Steve Austin for you right there. That's it, man. We want to have a good time, talk about some cryptid, talk about some survival, talk about some firearms, and try to entertain you all while we do it.
Yeah.
And if we don't, hey, we're sorry.
Yeah.
This ain't the channel for you. But if you do love us, like, subscribe, keep coming back, and we're going to be right here. Right, brother?
Yeah.
Anything to say in closing, my friend?
Well, I guess the only thing I got left to say is, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't got time to bleed.
And
keep on moving.
as in always, I'm going to try to keep this right. It's better to have it and not need it than need it not have it. So yeah, better go and grab it. KPLS Boys signing off.